Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. Yeah, today we're going to be working on some content. Basically, that's going to be the entirety of the stream. I've got a number of stuff queued up in my to-do list. Still got a lot in my in-progress list that I need to finish up, but we won't pay attention to that. I'm kind of all over the place right now. But all these loose ends are going to get tied up. But anyway, we're going to do some fun things this stream. I want to make some changes to that fire status that many of you have noticed is pretty noisy. So I'm going to change how the fire works, and we'll get into that, but gonna have an affix that I want to get done as well, and then a couple of passives I think that will be really interesting to add. And yeah, that's basically going to be the stream. So before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that I've got all the ways that you can support me linked in the description below. I've got my Udemy courses available for sale. It's a great way to financially support me, and it's a great way to kickstart your Godot learning. So please check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, and of course wishlist Gunforged on Steam and play the demo also on Steam. Let me know what you think, and with all of that out of the way, let's get right into it. Hello, Brian. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Got the course this morning. Excited to go through it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's see. So let's start with the first thing. Change fire to spread to nearby enemies instead of leaving burning ground. So you'll recall maybe that the fire and poison status both deal damage over time to enemies, and I wanted a way of differentiating them so that they're not basically just the same thing. And the idea was that fire would have the potential to spread through that burning ground. But the burning ground is a little bit noisy because it just leaves a long-lived particle on the ground that just kind of adds a bunch of visual clutter. So I'm going to do something that's a little bit more invisible but still effective, and that is when a burning enemy dies, I'm just going to take the fire stacks that were on that enemy and just spread them to the nearby enemies automatically. So it's still going to be differentiated from poison, it's still going to have the potential to spread, but it's going to be a lot, what should I say, cleaner visually. So let's go ahead and do that. And I don't even know where to go, so we're going to have to figure that out. All right, so fire status. Here we go. On died. Health component.connect on died. Clear. So there might be a bug in here. Hold on a second. On died. So this is connecting to the health component signal on died. Okay, so I think if tick count is equal to 0, we're going to be dying. Clear is called... Yeah, I think there's an issue here. Health component to damage. Oh, no, there isn't. There's an issue in this one, which is that when the status effect ends, there's like a 1 second period where it remains in the tree so that the particles can finish and all that good stuff. But it looks like if the enemy dies within that 1 second, it will still spawn the fire effect, even though the fire effect is over. So I think what I need to do is I just need to say if tick count is equal to 0, then we're just going to return. So we're just going to ignore that. And there should be like an is dying. Wait, is there like an is dying on here? Is dying. Interesting. Okay, so that's not there. Status receiver component. How do I know then? Base status dot died, on status died, existing statuses dot remove. Okay. Right. Okay, I think that's fine. So we're just going to prevent it if the tick count is 0, prevent it from instantiating this fire area. But we're not even going to do this anymore. So I'm actually going to go to the fire area here. And this is all just going to be deleted. And, well, maybe it shouldn't be deleted. Set gun stats. Maybe I'll just change it. Because what I want to do is... I mean... I basically need to get all the enemies that are within a certain radius of the entity that died. And I could do that by just fetching all the entities from the tree, or I could do that with like a shape cast 2D. I might as well get that from the tree. Where is... Get all enemies. Excuse me. So I want to basically get all the enemies in the radius here. So I can do get all enemy hurt boxes, game utils, get all enemy hurt boxes, and then I can find all the hurt boxes that are within a certain radius. Now that's not going to be as accurate as like a shape cast, but I think that'll be fine. There's no need to complicate it, so... Hello, Rin. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you again. Welcome to the stream. Why not? There we go. Alright. I don't know why my camera keeps shifting. Maybe I'm the one that keeps shifting. Alright. So let's do this. Var enemy hurt boxes is equal to game utils dot get all enemy hurt boxes. Okay. And then I can just get all the enemy hurt boxes that are within a certain radius. So let's do this. Private const float spread radius is equal to 64. And let's just go ahead and iterate for over all of these. So enemies to spread is equal to enemy hurt boxes dot where x dot global position dot distance squared to. We'll just do the let's see, owner base status. I guess it's fine. We'll just do distance squared to this global position of this status effect. I believe the base status extends node 2D, yeah. Is less than radius or equal to spread radius times spread radius. So we're going to select all of the enemies that are within this distance. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and find those status receiver components. So enemies to spread dot select x dot get first node of type status receiver component dot where not equal to null. So var status receivers for each var status receiver in status receivers. What we're going to do is we're going to say status receiver dot apply status And let's see. Last applied gun stats. So we'll do scene path here. And then we're going to do last applied gun stats dot duplicate. And we want to do this. Oh, we want to do this. Let's see. I want to apply a certain number of statuses. Current stacks equals current stacks plus 1. Apply status. I wonder if I should do that. Apply. Can I do like an int count? And then I can put a count there. Let's find all the places where this is used. Oh, it's just using the status receiver component. Okay. So apply status, I could put an int count here. And then we'll just go ahead and pass the count. Pass the count there. Okay. So that's going to apply 1 by default, but now what I can do in my fire status is I can say apply the current number of stacks that I have. So I believe I can just do current stacks. Yeah. So that's going to apply the same number of stacks of fire to every enemy that's in the radius. And then I believe I can just get rid of this. So we're going to get rid of that. Let's go to the fire status. We can delete this whole thing here. And then get rid of this resource preloader. Get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, let's see if that works. And we don't need this anymore either. All right, time to test it. I know the feeling of tracking down an obscure issue. Yesterday, my programs just started crashing. Turns out I was calling the system pressed not released, and that was enough. Oh, yeah. That's, yeah, those small issues can get you sometimes. Hello, Kevan Tovi. Top-down survival wave shooter. It's a wave-based shooter like Brotato, with elements from Vampire Survivors and other roguelites in that genre. So I would encourage you to check out the Steam page linked below for a full overview on what the game is like. But yeah, that's what we're working on today. Hello, Zeden FL. How are you doing? Frederick, good to see you. 4 episodes missing, and I am through with your course in the puzzle game. Such a great course. Thank you for that. You're welcome. Thank you, Frederick. Very much appreciate that. I'm very happy to hear that a lot of you, or most of you, or all of you even, are enjoying the courses. It means a lot to me, so thank you. Would love to get your take on your implementation of a state machine. Any plans to possibly do a tutorial deep dive on that in the future? That's a good idea. I might do that, yeah. I think the delegate state machine is a really, I think it's a good idea. And it's not just because I made it. I also made something similar for GDScript, a callable state machine. It just makes so much sense to me to use like function pointers or functions themselves as your states, because it just makes everything so much cleaner. You don't need a bunch of extra supporting framework to get the state machine working. And when you want to change a state, you just point directly to the function that you want to enter, right? I want to enter this state function. And then if you've configured it correctly, it just automatically calls all of the relevant enter and leave functions that need to be called to do your state, setup and cleanup. It's just very, very clean to me. And yeah, I should probably do a deep dive on that. I'm thinking about pursuing game dev. Just started Godot and pixel art after seeing your vids. Do you have any advice on how I should really get into it? Thanks. No, I would say that you're off to a great start, and just try to apply yourself, try to make your games, try to make your own pixel art. It's going to take you probably a while to get good at pixel art, but you just got to keep working at it, keep improving. I would recommend going and looking on YouTube for other pixel art tutorials. There's a lot of really good like 10-minute videos that contain like a wealth of information on how to get good at pixel art. So yeah, you just got to do it and get some experience by just doing the thing, and you'll get better over time. Hello, Manwa. Good to see you. Hello, Ariane. Yes, let's like the videos. Yes, indeed. Give it that thumbs up. Cool. All right, let's see if this fire spread effect works. Gun left, or gun dragon left. All right, so we got that. And let's see, let's spawn a rat. Let's spawn a couple of rats. Okay, it didn't work. There's no errors in the console. All right. Status receiver component. I guess we'll just have to go ahead and step through this. I don't know why this wouldn't be working, but we'll find out. Gun dragon left, spawn rat. That one I don't care about. Or maybe I do. Oh. Okay. Alright, let's see if this works. So enemy hurt boxes. Oh, this is just an iterator though. There we go. Okay, that's right. Yeah. Status receivers. Enemies to spread. Oh, right. I know what's going on. I just want to do this. I want to do get all enemies. Because I'm looking for the status receiver component under the hurt box, and that's just never going to happen. So I need to get the actual enemies. Okay, I was using the hurt boxes because I was going to use the hurt box as like the origin position for checking the distance, but that's fine. It's not going to work, so. It's not going to work, so that's fine. Okay. Okay, that still didn't work. Still didn't work. Why is this not working? Oh, that worked. Okay, maybe the radius is just really low. Let me bump this up then. It is working. It's just I think the radius was really low. Okay, rat, left. Nice. Might be too much of a spread, but maybe I will leave the old spread, and then I could have like a passive or something that increases this spread radius. But that's fine. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let's see if I use this fire area anywhere else. Fire dash trail. Okay, I'm using it for the fire dash trail. So I guess I'll have to keep that there. Fire dash trail. Interesting. Interesting. On hurt box hit. Okay, I am using that elsewhere, so I'm just not gonna. I'll have to update the fire dash trail as well with some kind of better visual, but that's a little bit more situational, and so it's going to be just less cluttered, generally speaking. But I should update this eventually. But otherwise, I think that this new fire spread is going to work fine. I think it's actually going to be a lot nicer, so we'll just go ahead and leave that as is. So change fire status to spread. All right, let's go ahead and mark that as done. Okay, so now we got a couple of other content items here. That wasn't really a new content item, that was just a behavior change. So let's see. Increase damage for every wave that the player is not hit. Duplicate the effect of the first affix. That's an affix that I want to do. That one's going to be really interesting. I'm not actually sure how that's going to work. Maybe instead of duplicating the effect of the first affix. Yeah. That one's going to be tricky. I'd love to do that, but I think I'm going to have to give some careful thought to that one. We might as well try it. Let's try to create an affix where it duplicates the effect of the affix that's in the first slot. And we'll see how that works. Yeah, I'm currently watching a lot of other creators and I came across your work. It's freaking awesome. Thank you. You even tried your itch games. Thanks a lot for the advice. You're welcome. Yeah. Glad to help. Looks much cleaner and easier to keep track of everything. Plus, it looks like you're not using excessive empty nodes to act as the states, as other videos suggests. Yeah, I mean, I understand the temptation to make your state machine individual nodes, but the problem that I always ran into with that, the problem that I always ran into with state machines generally is that unless there's like a ton of similarities in how all of your entities act, there's very little you can actually share, like state logic wise. All of my enemies have such slight variations in how they move and behave that I can't really generalize state logic itself. I can generalize the state framework, but trying to make them so that they can all use like the same state nodes, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. And that's why in my game, what the approach that I'm taking is that, you know, I've got, you know, if I bring up the cannon goblin, for instance, you know, what I've done is I've modularized all of the common functionality into components, right? And then the root node has the state logic scripting, right? So each of my entities, the root node basically just says, okay, grab any reference to any component you need, set up the state machine here, and then here's all your states, right? And that ends up being a lot, I don't know, it's a lot easier for me to have the freedom to change things with respect to enemy behavior. And, you know, there's certainly places where it gets repetitive, but at the same time, it's like they're just, each of the entities is just different enough in behavior where it becomes basically impossible to generalize, you know? You'd be basically just making an entity AI framework for your game, which you might want to do, but yeah, I don't think the node-based approach works, really. Let's see. Definitely would love a deep dive, but I know you got a lot on your plate currently. Yeah, for sure. That's something that I want to do. I've got a lot that I want to do, but I also want to finish Gunforged, so alas. Anyway, so let's go ahead and, I don't know why, I just moved these things, so move some nodes around in Cannon Goblin. Okay, so let's try to create this affix now. So resources, affix. I'm just going to call this one duplicate. Do I want to do that? Yeah. Duplicate. We'll just call this one copycat. Loot weight 10, that's fine. Maybe we'll actually bump this up. We'll make this one more common. I haven't really done that yet. Is there any sort of... No. Okay. All right. So we've got the duplicate. Now I got to create the affix script. And this is where things are going to get a little bit messy. Duplicate affix.cs. Okay. Get description. All right. Duplicates. Non-innate rune slot. Okay, so we'll handle that. Now the question is, how do we actually get that to work? And that's a good question. So here's where all the affixes get handled. So there's game events that are listened to. Each game event handler is here. Every time one of those game events is handled, it calls this handle affixes. This constructs a list of affixes here based on the gun stats that are attached to the event. And then it iterates over all of those affixes and calls the relevant function on the affix itself. And so I need a way of basically counting the copycat. Let me think about this. So where do I want to... Because I need to have this updated in the description as well. So let me think about this. So that when you're the player and you're looking at the gun, I ideally want this duplicate affix to also tell you which one specifically it's duplicating. How am I going to actually do this? Gun stats. So this is the object that gets constructed and ultimately passed through this gun affix manager. So ideally what I would do is sort of put that necessary data inside of the gun stats themselves. So that way I can just... I want it to be as, what's the word? Like, fire and forget as possible. So I want my whole strategy with these affixes here is that ideally I want to contain the entirety of the affix logic just in this affix class here. And then just I can handle that agnostically elsewhere. Like I shouldn't be giving any special treatment to any particular type of affix at this level or at the gun stats level. Like I want everything to be handled. What did I just do? I want everything to be handled at the affix script level. The problem is I'm not sure that I can do that with what I'm trying to achieve here. At least I'm not set up to do that yet. So what I'm trying to think of is how can I improve this whole system so that I can basically increment the occurrences of a thing from within this affix. The problem is I don't necessarily have the affix inventory here, and I don't know if I want to pass in the affix inventory. So if I go to my gun model manager, this is kind of what keeps track of the affix inventories. But again, all this is doing is this is whenever the gun parts change, or whenever affixes are added. Wait, where is that happening? Add affix to next. Yeah, it emits this inventory updated. It basically redistributes the affixes across the weapon parts. So this is, I mean, this is really legacy stuff. There's a lot of weirdness going on here. I would not have designed the system this way if I knew I would end up at this spot in terms of the game design. But basically the affixes are attached to the gun part resources. They no longer need to be, but I didn't want to refactor my entire code base to move away from that. So the gun part resources are ultimately the source of truth as to what affixes are used when shooting a gun. And these affixes and runes, by the way, are like the same term. And then in my gun stats here, you can see I've got this from part resources. So this is why the gun part resource needs to be the source of truth as to the affixes, is because I'm calling from part resources in a lot of places, and that constructs the giant stats object that contains everything that I need to know about the current state of a gun so that I can apply the bullet behaviors and all that stuff. So I need to find a way I mean, maybe I can do that. Stats affixes range. See, so what I'm trying to avoid is, what I could easily do is I could take this, like, I've got the stats affixes, right? So I could say, oh, well, you know, iterate over the affixes here and find if any are double damage or double our duplicate effect, and then increase the number or whatever. But the problem is that I don't really have the concept of runes being stacked either. So I would need to, like, yeah, this is so... Okay. This is difficult. This is going to be a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Good morning, Breckheck. Welcome back to the stream. Hello, Corzo. Monster Hunter Live was great. I don't follow Monster Hunter at all, but I heard it's very popular. I heard that it's very popular, which is good for all the Monster Hunter fans out there, I bet. Let's see. Duplicates the effect of the first affix. Get grouped affixes. Oh boy. Okay, let me try something here. Shoot. I'm getting stumped by my own code. Is this going to be possible? I think it's going to be possible. What I'm thinking about doing is... So I'm incrementing a total affix count here, and that tells me how many stacks of something to apply. And the reason why I'm counting that up is because I actually don't... If I've got multiple poison affixes, for instance, on a gun, this on-entity collision will only be called on one of the poison affix instances, but it will be past the total number of poison affixes that exist. So rather than calling this on-entity collision for each poison, I just say, okay, pick one of the poisons, call this on it, and then in here I get the affix occurrences, and then in that sense I can apply the status. Now I actually don't need this anymore. I can pass in handler arguments dot affix occurrences here because I just updated that. But anyway, so what I could do potentially is in here I could have some other kind of hook. Affix.getType. But I don't know if I want to do that. Got my total affix count. So what I essentially do is I would say affix dot increment count. No, that wouldn't work either. This code is not very flexible anymore. It's a fun game. Yeah, I've heard that, yeah. What are you working on today? I'm just doing a bunch of content development right now. I'm working on a rune that is supposed to duplicate the effect of the rune that's in the first affix slot. However, I'm having a very difficult time figuring out how to do that. Hello. Jesse the Fish, welcome back. What's your favorite breakfast cereal? Well, I don't usually eat breakfast, but when I do eat cereal on rare occasions, probably, I don't know, I gotta go with Honey Nut Cheerios, I guess. Gotta go with the classic. Honestly, I can't really think of a better way to do this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try this. Gunpart affix, public, virtual, void on, or let's say modify affix count. So what I'd do is I would do affix dot modify affix count. I would pass in the total affix count and combined affixes. Or let's do, maybe we'll, total affix count, yeah. Okay, we'll leave that there. Duplicate affix, let's just go ahead and do this. Public, override void, modify affix count. This needs to take in a dictionary of type and int. Are you serious? Dictionary, type, int, total affix count. And then the other thing that I need to do is a list, gunpart affix, affixes. Okay. I think this will work, but then I'm going to have to handle the UI side of things. So in this gun affix manager, total affix count, and then we're going to pass in game event.gunstats.affixes. I probably shouldn't pass that by reference, but whatever. Okay, modify affix count. Cool, and what I'm basically going to do is I'm just basically going to do this again. Okay. This is, I mean, this is rather brittle, but I can't really think of a better way of doing it right now, so we're going to deal with it. So if affixes.count is equal to 0, we're just going to return out of that. var first affix is equal to affixes 0. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to paste that there. First affix dot get type, total affix count try add type 0, and we're going to increment it. So that's basically what I'm going to do here. So now that's going to be called always on every affix, and for most affixes that's not going to do anything, but in the case of the duplicate affix, it's going to go ahead and increment that count for every duplicate affix that exists. Okay, I think I can pretty easily test this and make sure that that works. So let's go to the dungeon arena. We're going to turn on debug mode here so I don't have to fight through everything. And then, what am I doing? Dungeon level. All right, let's see how this looks. Solid choice, intermittent fasting. Not really, no. I mean, I just don't, I guess you could say it's that. I don't know. It wasn't really a conscious decision. It's mostly just like have more time in the morning and then avoid whatever food-related slog or brain fog comes into the morning. I just feel better if I don't eat breakfast, that's all. Hello, Snupbill. Thank you so much for the IDR 20,000 again. Thank you. Very much appreciate it. I always love seeing your super chat and classic Yummers message. So, thank you. I appreciate it. What's a game that you are most excited to come out? Well, I was most excited about Path of Exile 2. But that's already out, I guess you could say. So, I'm not really following any games that closely. Nothing has really piqued my interest lately, except for Path of Exile 2, of course. Are there any games I should be aware of? I mean, there's the Night Rain from Software, right? That looks kind of interesting. But that's not coming for a while. I'm just not hungry in the morning, so I usually skip breakfast too. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Terraria-like game. Yeah, that was cool. I did see footage of that. I forgot what it was called as well. Something like... I remember it having like a Y in it. I don't remember though. PoE 2 Galaxy skill tree is scary, yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add rune duplicate. So I've got this copycat rune now. Okay, so now what I need to do is add gold 1000. Add rune ricochet. This is going to be an easy way of testing this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Put a ricochet in there. So now I should see it bounce one time. I don't know how I'm going to very easily test this. There we go. So I could bounce it off of this. So that's one time. And then if I go ahead and put this here. So here's where I need it to update the count here. But let's see if I can get this to work. There we go. Look at that. It's working. So now it's ricocheting twice. And if I were to remove this, it should go back to just dying once. There we go. Okay. So now the question is, am I going to be able to get it to do it 3 times? I don't know how I'm going to test that, but maybe... Ooh, I might be able to test it this way. We'll see. I mean, it'd probably be smarter to like put breakpoints and whatnot, but we're going to do things the old-fashioned way. Back in the days where they didn't have breakpoints. I didn't know I should be able to move that, but that's alright. Okay, so now I should be able to see... Oh, it's not ricocheting at all. Is that right? I think I probably messed it up. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh my god, it's going too fast. Why is that not ricocheting at all? It ricochets off of that one, but not that. Oh, maybe it's getting stuck on the corner or something weird. Oh, I guess I was just too far away. I was too far away from it, that's why. Oh, the range. It's at the end of its range when it hits. If I get a little bit closer, then it does ricochet. Okay, so that was just a trick that was being played on me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, wait, 1, 2. So it's going down, down, down. Yeah, that's 3 ricochets, right? I can't really tell. 1, 2. Yeah, because it hits the table twice. Okay, so that's working. So I don't need to test any other runes because that's working for sure. I just need to update this overview now. So if I look at the get combined affixes here, count by type. Or affix and joined affixes. Count by type. Yeah, I don't know. How am I going to update this UI now? I'm really like hesitant to write specific code for this duplicate affix, but I might need to. Kyora. Yeah, that's it. That's the game. Yep. I feel like any game you can craft any pixel is not considering Noita. But in this case, you destroy every pixel. Yeah, it looks interesting for sure. I'm very interested in that one. You think Noita could be made in Godot? Probably, yeah. I think you'd probably need to write a lot of custom code. You might even need to modify the engine a little bit. Maybe. But I think there have been people that have tried to make like Godot, like falling sand kind of stuff and have been successful, so. Noita was made in its own editor engine thing. Yeah, I think it would be a question. I think it's mostly a question of not whether it's possible, but what would be easier. Would it be easier to build an engine from the ground up to handle that? Or would it be easier to, you know, write or add whatever functionality you need into Godot to make that work? I ask, because I think it could be hacked into Godot, but there would be performance issues. Yeah. It's not anywhere close to the scale of Noita. Yeah, like I said, I think it would be possible, but yeah, it might be more sensible to do your own solution for that. Hello, Featrix. Not so much late today, yeah. Welcome back to the stream, good to see you. Alright, get grouped affixes. So I need to get... How am I going to do this? So I already have something here. I wonder if I could unify this code in some way. Oh my goodness. Affix, modify affix count, total affix count. I'm just trying to think if there's a way I could unify these things. So in the gun model manager, I've got these get grouped affixes. Problem is this is a type of gun part affix, not a type of type. So count by type. I mean, I could just do this too. This is going to be very, very messy, but I could just do this. Modify affix count with a type of gun part affix. Like so. And then, yeah, basically just add another one here. I'm trying to do this as close to the affix as possible, but it's ending up with some weirdness here that I'm not happy with. But, you know, it's like, it's one of those things where if this was going to become a big consideration for the future of the game, I would probably rework a lot of these systems. But since the game is nearing completion, I'm okay with leaving some jankiness, you know, as we get toward the end. Maybe someday it'll need to be refactored, but probably not. So anyway, so in gun affix, so we've got, yeah, so in this gun model manager now, we've got get grouped affixes. Inventory innate affixes concat inventory affixes, yeah. So I think in here what I'll do is I'll say affix.modify affix count, and we're going to pass in the count by type here and pass in the inventory.affixes. This is an array. Of course it's an array. Why would it be anything else? I wonder if I could do... Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so affix modify affix count. So in duplicate affix, it's just going to go ahead and modify that. Again, kind of sloppy, but, you know, it should be fine. And then I'm going to update this. Occurrences. Got to make this plural, you know, got to pluralize it. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So this is looking like a more acceptable solution. A little bit sloppy, but I think it's going to be fine. So let's go ahead and test it out. So what I should see is I should see that the tooltip now is going to be updated to reflect the fact that the first affix is being counted multiple times. And then the duplicate affix should also be joined and say how many times the first affix is being duplicated. And then I think if all that works, it should be as simple as adding the icon art and then being done. So let's see, glass cannon. Dashing lasts 3 times longer, whatever. I don't know why I'm looking at these. It doesn't matter. Okay. Popcorn. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and put the ricochet on. Bullets ricochet 1 additional time. Boom. Bullets ricochet 2 additional times, and then duplicates the effect of the rune in the first non-innate rune slot 1 time. Cool. So that works. Let's see if I can get another rune slot on this. There we go. So now I should still see, boom, Bullets ricochet 3 additional times. Duplicates the effect of the first rune in the first non-innate rune slot 2 times. There we go. So that handles the UI issues, I think. And yeah, I think that's fine. So if all went well, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there. What? Wait. 1. Nope. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Sweet. Okay, I think that was. I mean, aside from my hemming and hawing, that really wasn't that big of a deal, right? Changed a couple of lines of code in a couple places ultimately. Added some new virtual methods to the base affix type. It's a little sloppy, like I said, not the ideal way that I would have handled it, but it's all good because the benefit of doing it that way is that the whole overall system still functions in a nice, like, unified way. And I'm just modifying the counts before the affixes get pumped through that system, if that makes sense. So, let's go ahead and just commit all this, and then I'm gonna draw an icon for it. All right, so what am I doing? Initial work on duplicate affix. Okay. Oops. I didn't want to commit that. Git commit abort. Can I not abort that? Okay, that aborted it. Cool. All right. Anyway, turn this off. Cool. Let's draw an icon for that. What does affix mean in this context? It's a rune. So a rune slash affix, they're the same thing. They're little pieces of functionality that modify how the gun behaves. So that's what a rune is, slash affix. Gunforged Rebirth, yeah. I'm at the point in my larger project that I need to refactor it heavily to move the demo further. Yeah, that feeling is kind of a bad feeling, but if you get a nice refactor done and you set up yourself for success in the future, that also feels very good. So I don't love that, but just keep moving. Yeah, you have to know. I think my tendency that I had to get over was like I wanted every system to be perfect, and so like the moment I ran into a little bit of trickiness with a system, I'd be like, it needs to be rewritten. But if you do that constantly, you'll never get anything done. So I had to really like rein that in myself and just say, yeah, it's not ideal. I don't like the way that it is, but it's not bad enough to justify redoing it, you know? I had some pluralized code in my project, and of course I had all these edge cases to pluralize words like man, werewolf, octopus, cyclops. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds annoying. Octopi, werewolf, werewolves, men. What is the plural of cyclops? Is it cyclopi? Cyclopses? Why does English have to be this way? Yeah, luckily the pluralizations that I've encountered are just adding an S or not to the end of the word, so that's good. All right, let's see what we can do here. I'm running out of slots on my little rune icon sheet here. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can draw a cat. It's gonna probably not work very well, but we're gonna see. I'm giving the cat ginormous ears because my cats have ginormous ears. So you could say it's a little bit of a personal touch, I suppose. Don't want to spend too much time on an icon here. I can probably make this work. I'm just kind of stubbing it out right now. I'm gonna go take a peek at my cat really quick. Okay, I have studied the subject. The subject is much prettier than my art, but... That looks more like a weasel, but... Oh my gosh. I should just give up. Cyclopses, yeah. Cyclopses, apparently. Okay, interesting. Is this Ace Bright? It is Ace Bright, yep. Yeah, I love Ace Bright. Hello, Capeach Games. I've been stuck on the artwork for the final boss of my first game for a couple of weeks now. My pixel art skills are weak, but at the best of times, but this eel is proving seriously difficult. Yeah, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, depending on your frame of mind, the only way to get better is to just kind of like work through that and just, you know, try to do the best that you can and keep working at it. Might take several days of effort, but, you know. But yeah, I've had instances like that too. It looks like a mouse, yeah, it's not looking great. You're basing yourself and your cat, makes sense, yeah. Hello, Instakill Ann, welcome back to the stream, good to see you. Wouldn't it be better to make a shape of a cat whole body? I mean, I could try that. That might be, funnily enough, that might be easier. So yeah, maybe I'll just do like a... I don't have enough room. That looks like a dog. It looks like a dog. What? Oh my gosh. I guess I'm not that great of a pixel artist yet. Maybe this shape would be easier to draw. Look at that chonker. Where was the shape that I was just looking at? Oh my gosh, this Google is just really annoying me lately. It's so bad. Okay, I apparently can't locate the image that I was originally looking at. How do you create the huge A-sprite canvas and create the separation lines? There's a built-in grid. I think it's Control apostrophe by default to show it. You can also go to View Grid at the top. So yeah. Could draw only a paw, perhaps another ear. When all else fails, just add the word meow. Yeah. My cat has a major hunchback. Yeah. I can't find, there was one image that like I looked at initially and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. And now I can't find it anywhere. Oh, was it this? No, it wasn't that. Oh, well. So, okay. Yeah, this is terrible. Okay, let's try this now. Let's try this now. Okay. I think that should be relatively easy to do. Maybe. So up, ear, snout, snout. That looks like a mouse again, dude. All tiny mammals converge on dog or mouse. What is it about cats that's so like hard? That's a mouse. Like, come on. Oh my goodness. I'm about to give up on drawing a cat. How in the world? This is unreal. No matter which path I take, I either get dog or mouse. Okay, wait a minute. Is that looking a little bit better? Nope, that's mouse again. So the cat needs to have like a pointy ear, I guess. I feel like it's one of those cases where it's just like one pixel difference. There needs to be like a little curve here as well. That's not working at all. The other problem is I don't really have a whole lot of room here, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get that curve. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get that curve. That's a chunker cat. I mean, that's looking better, I suppose. Need like a little feats. I think what represents the most cats. The most of the cats. I don't know what you mean there. Oh, it's a triangular face and ears. I see. Yeah, that's more triangular now. Tail looks through tooth in like a mouse tail. Yeah, I think I just corrected that, but we'll see. Cats take so many forms. Jello, ball, loaf. It's hard to represent them all. Yeah, I know. Probably exaggerating the sharpness of the ears. Yeah, I think that's working pretty well. Black ball and pointy ears it is. I have a few burnt lobes at home, yeah. What are your favorite indie games of all time? Indie games. I mean, there's Terraria, that's a good one. Minecraft was an indie game before it got bought, so I could say that too. What else? I like Slay the Spire a lot. Balatro is a lot of fun. What else? I'm trying to think of like an indie game that I put a lot of time into. Stardew Valley. I don't know, is Stardew Valley considered an indie game? Let's see. What else? Is DayZ considered an indie game? I put a lot of time into DayZ. Terraria, yeah, Terraria's good. Balatro, yep. Yeah, I liked Balatro a lot. I mean, I did kind of get bored of it after a while, but I put a solid, I don't know, maybe 15 hours into it. Stardew Valley's def indie. Yeah, I would probably say one of those, or all of those, or any of those. Is this looking like a better cat? This is too straight here. But if I make it... Now that looks like a kangaroo mouse at the same time. This is too straight, but if I remove... Yeah. That just ends up looking like a mouse. I think I have to keep it straight like that. This is just not working. This is just not working at all. Why is this so difficult? I'm just gonna freehand something like really quick. Nope. It's just, I don't think I have enough space. I really don't. Because there's all kinds of curves here. There's an ear, there's a curve here. I just, like, to represent this, I have basically 1 pixel to do that. And I can't do that. So, like, it needs to come in and then out again and then back in. But that just ends up making it look like a mouse again. This is dumb. I don't like drawing cats. I don't like this at all. Okay, I'm gonna just leave this. Whatever. We'll just call this good. We'll just call this good. Never drawing cats again. Never again. Although it doesn't look terrible now with a little bit of highlighting and shading and whatnot. Let's see how it looks in game. Just trying to figure out the right positioning. Okay. Export that. Copy this. Paste it here. Make unique. Edit region. There we go. There's our icon. And now let's go into the game and see what it looks like. Maybe if you leave a space for the front legs and the body. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to play with that a little bit more. Maybe just the face. I tried initially the face and it just didn't work. Friends don't let friends draw cats. Yeah, I think that's just, I think it just encountered a weak point in my artistic ability right there. It was a combination of factors. One, cats are apparently really weird to draw. And two, like I'm dealing with such a tiny little icon space that I'm not sure. Yeah, probably just doing the face would be better. But like I said, that didn't really work out. But anyway, there's the cat icon. It doesn't look terrible in game when it's not zoomed in. I think it looks fine. It's maybe a little bit janky, but I think mostly... It's just, I'm just going to go back into the game, modify the tail a little bit. Modify the tail a little bit, and then we'll see what's going on here. There we go. I think that's fine. Copy that and show another rune slightly behind it, but a bit darker per the rune name Copycat. That's a good idea. I don't have a darker color than what you see here, though. So I'd have to lighten this one up and then do a darker one behind. That might work. Let's see. And I think it ends up being a little bit too noisy. Guess it doesn't look terrible. I think I'm going to keep the original though. Okay, I'll keep the original here. Cool. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to see what this looks like in game. Let's see what it looks like in game. Copycat, boom. All right. I think that's looking all right. So add duplicate rune icon. Cool. All right. So I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. And when I come back, what we're going to do is we're going to do this one. Drop a health globe after killing 50 bleeding enemies. So that's going to be an interesting one. Tying in with the blood build. It's kind of like a lifesteal mechanic that works with the fact that I'm using like whole integer health values for the player. So yeah, we're going to work on that, but I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break like I said, and then we'll get started on this when I get back. So in the meantime, please check out the links in the description below. Those are all the ways that you can support me. I've got my Udemy courses available for sale. It's a great way to support me and a great way to kickstart your Godot learning journey. And then there's a bunch of other ways you can help me out. You can wishlist Gunforged on Steam, play the demo, all that good stuff. So I'll be right back in just 2 minutes, and then we'll continue on with Gunforged content development. All right, let's continue on. If you have 2 cats, I think it would be better to have one behind be lighter and less saturated. Okay, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I might still play with that icon a little bit more, but thank you for the suggestion, Jade. Very much appreciate it. What is the program you're using to organize? Oh yes, Obsidian. Thank you, Brekek. It's the Obsidian Kanban community plugin. So that's what I'm using. It's very nice. I love Obsidian mostly because all of the data is, you know, stored on my local machine. So that's nice. And I don't have to worry about a third-party service just shutting down randomly. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do this one. Drop a health globe after killing 50 bleeding enemies. So I think what I can do is I can probably look up my, I think I have like a poison explosion passive. Entity died from, no, not that. Poison stack burst passive. Oh, okay. Status added game event. Oh, here's an interesting thing. Status added event. There needs to be a count in here as well. Public int amount added. Amount added equals count. Where is this status added? Oh, this is never used? Okay, so I'm gonna remove this. If that's never used, then I'm not gonna clutter up the code with unused stuff, because all it takes is for an outdated piece of code for me to use it thinking, oh, this is gonna work as I expect, only to find out that it's bugged later. So anything that I'm not using in the code, I just remove. Because it's possible that it's outdated or that it hasn't been used in a while, and I don't want to inadvertently start using it and then have it break things. So get rid of that, and then emit status added. So we got the status added event, cool. So now I can look at this reference here. On status added. Okay. Current stacks plus equals, I'm modifying some other places in the code here. Status added event dot count dot amount added. If current stacks is greater than or equal to target stacks, we're going to say current stacks minus equals target stacks. So if it overflows now, it will still trigger, and then it's just going to remove the target stacks there. Cool. All right, so that should be fine. I'm not going to test that. I'm fairly confident that's going to work. And I'm sure that will produce a bug because of my overconfidence later on, but we will decide, or we'll discover that later. Okay, so poison stack burst passive. I'm just going to copy this template here. Basically, paste, rename. I'm just going to call it life steal passive, because it's basically life steal. Okay, target stacks equals 50. I'm gonna have to play with that too, just to see. Status add event scene path is not equal to bleed status dot scene path. I probably shouldn't be using scene paths for these, but whatever. Current stacks, yep. If current stacks is greater than or equal to target stacks, then we want to do this. Loot drop item. So I need these. Copy and paste this. Actually, I wonder if I should do... I wonder if I should filter this through the Wave Rewards Manager. No, I don't think that's necessary. I think I'll just do this. Let's get a reference to a node. Private resource preloader. This kind of content development is really fun. When it's like nice and easy and straightforward and it's going to change the game in a noticeable way. What's not so fun is like figuring out how to change my code so that it doesn't break and can support the new stuff that I want to add. But when the code automatically already supports everything that I want to add, that is a good feeling. Entity got global position. I mean, that should be fine. Health globe, start health globe, current stacks minus equals target stacks. Yep. So that's our target stacks there. Cool. All right, so that ought to work. Let me go ahead and create a resource for this now. Where is this? Passive. Create new resource, passive, life steal. Here, title, life steal. Every every 50th bleeding enemy killed will drop a health globe. Max stacks 1, cooldown time 0, feature tags. This is going to be blood and health. And then the loot weight, we're going to turn this loot weight way down because that's going to be a very powerful one, I think. Okay, and for testing purposes, let's change this target stacks to 5 from 50 so I can test it. And then we'll go ahead and go into the game and we'll see what happens. I need to also update the description of robust because there's going to be a question now because robust passive basically says you regenerate, what the heck? You regenerate 1 health. Status receiver. Oh, I searched for this and it wasn't. Oh, that's fine. I don't need this anyway. This is no longer a thing. Oh, the maggot is not. Okay, the maggot's not using an old version of my state machine as well. The robust passive heals you 1 health after each wave, but it also says you can't collect health globes. And then there's going to be a question in the player's mind, well, does that work with this lifesteal passive? Like, is a lifesteal passive going to be nullified? So I need to reword it so that it does not suggest that you can't loot any health globes. But let's test this out first. I had a dream of a game like the one on your break screen with the poker cards, but somewhat like Balatro. I guess Enter the Gungeon Balatro is eroding my brain. I mean, you should definitely think about that. I mean, trying to figure out how to make a card-based card-based twin stick shooter roguelike. It's kind of interesting. Maybe it's been done before, but that would be very interesting, I think. Have you thought about making a Discord channel? I have. I think. Don't hold me to this, but I think I might make a Discord after the release of Gunforged to get everyone involved in the development of my next game. And also, I think I might set up YouTube channel memberships as well after the release of Gunforged. And, just as an extra way, if you want to support me monthly, you can do so. But, yeah. Bother him there about his Udemy course. You are free to bother me about my Udemy course. Part of the exchange when you buy the Udemy course is that you get some access to me with respect to asking course questions. So, you can message me on Udemy and I respond to basically every message. There are some things that I don't respond to, but if the question, I will respond to you. most likely. So, hello, Christopher. Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, you did miss the cat. My failure at drawing a cat. Biggest problem with that is the procedural generation, yeah. In the game making, well, if it makes you feel any better, I was never able to get procedural generation working from a game design perspective. I could get procedural generation working in the sense that it created levels that you could go through and kill enemies in the level, but that's like getting something technical working and then getting something that works in service of the game design goals is like two different things entirely. And what I found is that it's really, really hard to get procedural generation to generate in a compelling way. So yeah, I'm going to be very wary about relying on procedural generation in my future games, because it's a lot of work. There's a lot that can go wrong. There's a lot of considerations to be made. And it's just much easier to design games that don't have that. So I saw your vid on procedural generation, but it looks weird. Yeah. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, let's do this. Gun left worm, because that's going to give me bleed. Oh, that didn't work. Gun worm left. There we go. Okay, let's spawn some rats. Spawn rat 5. I got to make sure that they're all bleeding when they die. Oh wait, did I do this wrong? Oh, I didn't add the passive to myself. I already messed this up. Also, I think I did this wrong. It's not status added. This needs to be enemy died. Entity died event on entity died. Yeah, I did this entirely wrong. So I actually don't want this to be on apply here. This needs to be target enemies. Current enemies. If entity died event dot entity get first node of type status receiver component dot has status. We'll just change this to a not, or if equals is not equal to true, return. Okay, so if the entity data does not have the bleed status, then we're going to return. Otherwise, we can increment this. If this equals target enemies, entity died event. Okay, that should all be good, and we can just set this to 0 down here. Cool. All right, so that was just completely wrong, and I also never added the passive to myself, so I just did everything wrong right there, but that's all right. I have a newfound respect for Enter the Gungeon and Isaac devs, yeah. Well, Isaac, I would imagine a procedural generation like The Binding of Isaac would be easier because it's just, they're basically just, I mean, maybe the later games are more complicated, but when I played Binding of Isaac, it was just like rectangular rooms, and then they were all connected together as like standalone single screen rooms. So if I was going to do procedural generation, I'd consider something like that, or like Tiny Rogues. Tiny Rogues is a very good example of this too, where like each room is basically just a square, and the procedural generation just comes with like the sequence of rooms that you can go through. So that would probably be easier to do. Still difficult, but probably easier. Add passive life steal. Life steal. What in the world? Am I doing this wrong? Why is that not showing up? Oh, I never added a node for it. Scene, new scene. I just created, I'm getting mixed up because like my affixes don't have nodes associated with them, but my passives do. So I need to do this, and then I need to load the script. Okay, attach that. Okay, now we should be good. The reason though the passives need to be nodes is because they need to listen for signals. Okay, there it is. Every 0th enemy, I think I did this wrong again. I'll get it eventually. Okay. Every month? Okay, well, I'll have to fix that. I think I actually know what I need to do here. This needs to be a regular old 50. Okay. All right. Anyway, gun worm left. Spawn rat 5. Ow. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, it didn't work. Is it having trouble dropping the globe? Oh, I forgot to... Oh my gosh, I'm doing everything wrong. I needed to fill that resource preloader with stuff. Okay. Gunworm left. Passive lifesteal. Spawn rat 5. That didn't work either. Eventually, I'll get this. Okay. All right. Okay. One more time. Gunworm left, passive lifesteal, rat 5. There we go. There we go. I should probably also check... Well, maybe I'll just leave it. I was going to say I should check if the player's health is empty, but might as well drop it, because then the player could potentially leave it on the ground for a little bit, take some damage, and then pick it up. But I think that's fine. I think that's all right. Okay, so let's change that number back to target enemies to 50. I just want to make sure that that passive has a correct description as well. There we go. Every 50th bleeding enemy killed will drop a health globe. Okay, so now I want to change that robust. Health wave regen. can no longer naturally drop health globes. So I'm rewording this to kind of suggest that enemies are no longer going to, as a matter of course, have the potential to drop health globes, but I'm hoping that this makes it clear to the player that that's not going to affect that one that I just did, this lifesteal one. So this word can no longer naturally drop health globes. That doesn't mean that no health globes can drop. It just means that that natural functionality of the game is not going to be enabled anymore. So let's go ahead and do this. So added life steal passive. Okay, let's do some play testing and just see how all of this is feeling so far. So I'm gonna actually move this over. That's done. Cool, got some good content done. I'm probably gonna spend this afternoon working on the 3rd level. I'm doing some tile set work right now, just trying to get a feel for what the 3rd level should be. And then hopefully if I get that tile set looking nice, I can start developing some enemies. So maybe not tomorrow, but maybe at the start of next week, which next week is Christmas, so probably won't be streaming as much. But by the start of next week, I should be working mostly on new enemies and bosses for that 3rd level. Anyway, let's go ahead and do some play testing here. Get into the dungeon. I really need to finish watching the puzzle tutorial that I bought over a month ago. Yeah. Just gotta have the time to do it. People are busy. Couldn't you also add something like ignores passive effect? I could. I guess the reason I'm hesitant to do that is because what happens if there's multiple passives that can start dropping health globes? Do I have to add a line of exception for each one of those? It's one of those things where I just like to make it like a generalized statement that, you know, this only prevents enemies from naturally dropping health globes, but having a passive that forces a health globe drop is not necessarily like natural. Maybe a lot of people are not going to pick up on that immediately, but I'm also expecting players will just be like, well, let's try it. And then, you know, and it'll work. And they'll be like, okay, it does work, you know. I want the general rule to be like, the passives are going to work as they describe, you know. And if a passive says it's going to drop a health globe, that's what it's going to do, you know. Anyway, Blood Torrent. Let's go ahead and take Blood Torrent, I suppose. Worm Bullet over here. Shotgun. Oh, that's so slow. Bullet splits when colliding with enemy, though. That's good. What's over here? Increase stamina by 1. Might as well. Let's do it. Sacrifice one of my health immediately. Oof. Well, I'm in trouble now. Cool. All right. All clear be the fused glass cannon. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do glass cannon build. This run has a potential to be very short, but we'll see. I just got to use my dashes more liberally, I suppose. I've got that 50% damage increase too, which is nice. Basically just like a permanent damage buff. Oof. No, get away from me. If I can get some max health increases, that'll be great. Another stamina? Let's do it. Might as well stack on the stamina. That's less speed, more spread, but an extra rune slot. I don't have any runes for that though, so we'll go ahead and just keep on going. use the pillars as little cover to block some bullets. I basically just need to keep my distance away from the rats, and I should be fine. Okay, zap, quickness. Let's take quickness. That's going to help a lot. Spread is a little bit up on this, but I get another rune slot. We can put bullet split there. These are DPS increases. Ooh, that feels much better, yeah. Although I could do this magazine. Ooh, yeah, let's do that. So I've already got bullet split there, so I don't need that anymore. Might as well sell that. Okay. 52, cool. Yeah, I don't really like the fact that I can swap those runes around right there, but if it's not affecting the... It's not affecting the affixes. Hold on, I'm going to try something a little bit here. I'm going to try something. Add rune copycat. Add rune copycat. Oh, add rune duplicate is what it's called. That's like its ID. Okay, I'm cheating a little bit, but that's all right. So copycat. Oh, why can't I hover over these? I can hover over this one, but not this one. Why is that happening? Oh, I've got a lot of errors. Value cannot be null. Yeah, so I think what happened is I should probably disallow. Yeah, I gotta disallow the copycat here. Oh, look at that. Oh, wait, that's so funny. I have copycat in the first slot and it's duplicating itself. Duplicates the effect of the rune in the first non-innate rune slot 2 times. So that's actually not correct. But when so I can't, I have to disable drag and dropping right there. But if I do this, 10% chance to throw a shock grenade. Yeah, okay. I think that's fine. That'll just be a little bit of a weirdness, but I'm gonna sell this because I didn't get that legitimately. So add gold -10. Okay, so I removed 10 gold from me, so I'm back to where I was before I got those runes. So basically undid the cheating, so I can have an accurate idea of what the playtest is looking like. I keep forgetting that I have 1 health. I need to play a little bit more safe. There we go. 39 gold. Not bad, not bad. Robust. I can't use robust because I have 1 health. Might as well take quickness ×2. I might partake in this here gun scrambler. Okay, that wasn't a bad upgrade. I mean, DPS went down, but that's probably all right. I could reroll if I wanted to, but I don't think so. I've got push, poison stack, popcorn. It's hard to see if the popcorn is working, but I'm pretty sure it is. Ooh, I'm in a bad spot. Yeah, it's definitely working. It's just hard to tell with the amount of bullets that I'm shooting. Ooh, I almost just died right there. Wow, did you see that? How many bosses are you total of thinking you're adding to the game? There's going to be 2 bosses per arena, so there will be 6 bosses total. I may end up, like, depending on how the reception of the game is, I may end up adding even more bosses for variety, but I think it will release with 6. Do the runes trigger in the order they are in the gun? The question is sometimes. It's more so like, I think generally speaking, the runes aren't really order dependent. So for instance, the combustion passive will create an explosion when oil is applied to a burning enemy, or vice versa. And basically the way that works is that the bullet will hit the enemy. All of the status effects will be applied first. So it's going to apply the oil, then it's going to apply the fire. And then after all the status effects have been applied, then it will check the combustion passive, for instance. So it doesn't matter whether oil was applied first or fire was applied first. It just only cares if, you know, those statuses exist at the same time when the entity gets hit, then it will cause the explosion. So I think generally speaking, the way that I've built the runes is that they do happen in a certain order, but the order doesn't matter. Like, all the effects are going to happen as you expect them to, regardless of the order, if that makes sense. The only order dependency is with that copycat. So the copycat obviously only applies to the first affix in your gun, but that's not really a question of what order are the runes applied in. That's more so just like, you know, how does it look in your inventory, right? So I think case by case is correct, but I think generally speaking, like, you don't have to worry about that. Like, the game is not that deep in terms of its customizability. It's just like, you're going to get the effect from the rune no matter where it is in your gun, and it's going to behave as you expect. Bloated or rubberized? Well, I don't have any. I'm going to take I saw that. That's a good one. Yes, popcorn receiver. Let's go. Put that there. Got 2 stacks of popcorn now. Let's go. Now, I might need to update that description because it says spawns 2 bullets, but then it says spawns 3 bullets in random directions because it adds 1 additional bullet each time. So I need to update that description, I think. Let's put that. Ooh, we get more shock grenade chances. Yes. Okay. The popcorn is definitely working. You can see that a bunch of my bullets start going in random directions when I kill something with the poison. It's kind of hard to see, but the tell is when a poison bullet comes back in the opposite direction. I'm liking this poison popcorn gun. Yeah. Thunderstorm, imaginary friend. Ooh, do I gotta take the imaginary friend? Or movement speed again? Or thunderstorm might be a good one. I was thinking it was like spells and Noita or super auto pets if you played either of those. Yeah, Noita was an inspiration for this system, but yeah, I'm not going that deep in terms of like the order matters. Let's take imaginary friend. You know I gotta take that one. That's a straight upgrade for that gun. Okay. I don't want to get rid of my poison. I like, well, yeah, I don't want to get rid of my poison. I'm not going to do another gun scrambler. I'm doing pretty good so far with just the 1 health. I would love to get the opportunity to have even more health, but that's alright. Blood Brothers. Do I have any bleeds whatsoever? I don't. Let's take Zap then. Ooh, a popcorn. Another popcorn receiver. That's a big upgrade for both guns actually, but I lose rune slots. Copycat. Ooh, I just got Copycat. Well, I can apply that here, and I should now have a 15% chance to throw. Yeah. So I'm going to be throwing a lot of grenades now. Yeah, that's good. Let's see what the shop has for me. 1 fire stack. That's an upgrade. That's also an upgrade, but I want to keep my poison. I'm just gonna, how much is this? Wait, 15? Okay, we'll put that over there. All right, I think we're okay. Thank you, Mr. Shop Man. It's really nerve-wracking because I'm still trying to get the, I'm still trying to get the gold, but also I only have 1 health, so. Oh my. Increase stamina, beefy. Ooh, should I do beefy? I don't want to lose the movement speed though. Increase stamina by 3. Let's do clear nearby bullets on dash. I'm gonna stick with my one health. Rune slots 2. Number of bullets 1. Spread goes down. Do I want to do this? I lose a popcorn, but that actually looks really good on that popcorn. Popcorn receiver with the dragon head. That doesn't look bad at all. Okay, so bullet split. I don't know. I guess I don't have another rune, huh? Okay. Let's drop 10 gold into the well. Rubberized. Okay, that doesn't help me either, but that's all right. Okay. I'm in the corner. That's not good, but my dash clears bullets, so I should be all right. Okay. Just back off a little bit. Okay. That works. Tag your it. Grease ball. I'm not going to take this because I keep dashing a lot, so I think I basically get no use out of this one. Grease ball, I might as well take that because I just got that rubberized passive. This receiver, yes, put that there. There we go, big upgrade right there. Another rune slot. Again, I don't have any runes, that's fine. Okay. No, we're not using the gun scrambler, I'm sorry. The Phantom Gun is so funny. I love it. Follow me, Phantom Gun. Oof, I almost died right there. Do you see that? Ugh. Thank goodness I have a ton of dashes. Okay. Queasy. Every 40 seconds of poison applied to enemy creates a burst that spreads poison to nearby enemies. Might as well take that. I'm applying a lot of poison. That's a big upgrade, but I lose the poison, so I don't want to do that. Bleed. Here we go. Bleed on that one, and then we'll put shock on that one as well. So now we've got a shock build going a little bit. Phantom Gun is broke AF, yeah. I love it. Imagine if the Phantom Gun doesn't apply affixes, it actually clears all the affixes. So it's only doing the bullet damage, but it's still nice. It's just like extra free damage. I need to get in there and just get all these gold. Oh no! I was going for the gold. Ugh. Are you serious? All right, enemies killed, damage dealt. I took 3 damage and didn't heal at all. Feels bad, man. Okay, that's feeling good though. I was having fun. I just got GG, yeah. It's also trailing you, right? So if you're running around and enemies are tracking you, then they're literally right up against the gun. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I like it. Phantom Gun's one of my favorites for sure. Cool. All right, well, unfortunately that playtest didn't go well. I didn't survive, but that's all right. So that's going to be it for the stream today, though. Gonna go grab some lunch as usual. But thank you all so much for watching. Very much appreciate it. And let me just write this down real quick. Can move affixes around in player stats screen. Which I might want to allow, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Very much appreciate it. Again, if you'd like to support my work, please check out all the links in the description below. I've got my Udemy courses available for sale that will teach you how to build a complete game in the Godot engine using either GDScript or C#, so you can take your pick. Otherwise, you can wishlist Gunforged on Steam. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. So thank you all for watching. Thanks again for the super chat, Snup Bill, and I will see you all in the next one. All right, have a good day.